everyone, welcome to my living room. It is time for another edition of Coffee with Colin. So grab your coffee, grab your adult beverage, grab whatever it is that you want, because for the next hour, we're going to be doing something very special. So normally I have a guest on the show, and I interview them and ask them about what it took, what they accomplished, what their idea of success is, what were the challenges that they've overcome in their lives to create and manifest the things that they've wanted to do as far as career and relationship and all that good stuff. But obviously, with this week being a little crazy with the election going on, and with COVID just keeping rearing its head, what I wanted to do is basically do something different, where I'm checking in with you guys, kind of doing like a little town hall kind of check-in. And this is going to give us an opportunity to just breathe, right? I think collectively we all just need to take a deep breath and just kind of regather ourselves and just check in. And I think it's really important. One of the things that I've learned in my acting classes and in my amazing journey as an actor was that it's really important to check in with where you're at, because in order to go where you want to go, you have to know where you're at. And the things that got you to where you're at right now are not going to be the things that are going to get you to where you want to go. So it's really important for us to, every once in a while, to do check-in. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. One of the ways in which I learned from my acting classes and my acting teachers was to just focus on your breath. And I think that's one thing that we can do. Anyone can do that at any time, any moment. I think what I'd like to do right now, just to kind of start this off, because this is a special edition of Coffee with Colin. Normally what I do, because I have some courses that I teach, and I do some private coaching, and it really is all based on the fundamentals of my book, Agile Artist. And if you haven't gotten a copy yet, I would highly recommend it. It's kind of crazy. I was mentioning this earlier today. A lot of what is in this book is very applicable to what is going on in the world right now with regards to facing uncertainty, learning how to be able to adapt with constantly changing things that are happening in our lives, learning how to embrace change. And the title of my book, Agile Artist, a lot of what we can do is start to use more of that creative side of our brain in order to find solutions and creative ways, in order to overcome the challenges that we're facing, especially right now. So what I do in my 6-week course, it's called Inspire. I'm going to be doing another version of it in January. So if you're interested about that, feel free to email me at info@colinegglesfield.com. And there's a lot of great things that I've been trying to put together with this community of people that I've been inviting into this whole past year since my book came out last year. I've got my Best Self Facebook group, and that group is all about being your best self. And we just started a 90-day challenge. So if you're interested in getting some leverage for you to be able to start actually doing the things that you've been wanting to do but putting off, as far as taking better care of yourself. And one of the other important things I learned from one of my acting teachers was it's so important to honor yourself. And a lot of the times I think we put the needs of others ahead of ourselves. And in the process, we get lost. We feel like no one cares, or we just feel like we give and we give and we give. And if our gas tank runs empty, how can you possibly invite people into your car to take them where they want to go? And if you really care about other people, if you really want to be of service to other people, because in my opinion, that is really the true purpose in life. And I gain a lot from helping other people in life. If that is truly what you're up to in life, it's so important to take care of yourself. And it's important to learn some important tools in order for you to be able to show up in your life from an empowered perspective, and for you to be able to communicate effectively, and for you to be able to manifest and create life of your dreams. Because I come from a small little town outside of Chicago, and I grew up, dorky, skinny, just your typical dorky teenager. And the idea of working on the biggest stages in the world was crazy. Like if you asked me at 15 years old, I would be working with Kate Hudson and Sylvester Stallone and a bunch of other A-list actors, and even having met a ton of these actors, just living in Hollywood and going to all these amazing parties. I would have told you were crazy, and so on my journey, on my way of just trying to figure out life, because I think a lot of us are we're born, and some people have figured it out pretty easily and pretty quickly, and other of us, some of us others just take a little bit longer to figure out what is that thing that we're passionate about, or if we are passionate about it, we just don't know how to make it happen. And when I jumped into an acting class for the first time in my life, I was 25 years old when I first started studying acting professionally. I had done it a little bit when I was growing up, mainly because my older sister and my younger brother were more into it than I was. But whenever I would get up on stage or get up in front of people, I would always feel nervous. I would always start to clam up, sweat, and just get nervous. And I was always wondering, what was the reason for that? Why do we get nervous? And why do we feel that people are judging us? Why are we afraid to do things in life for fear of people we've never met saying things that really, in the grand scheme of things, don't matter? And I was stuck in that loop of feeling judged whenever I would go to my auditions. I fell in love with acting, and I loved acting class. But when I would go into my auditions, I would freeze up and I would get nervous. And basically, I was like, "What is the problem here? Why can't I do what I love to do?" So I relied on a lot of mentors, a lot of my acting teachers, and I had a lot of great coaches growing up as far as athletics go. And I really went on this quest to try to find the answers to overcome the challenges that I've had to face in my life. As a cancer survivor, I've also had to deal with how to create an empowered mindset in the face of uncertainty. I'm a 2-time testicular cancer survivor. And, it's these life lessons, these life-altering experiences that we have in our life that can have a profound effect on who we are. And I would never wish cancer on anyone. But going through that experience made me realize that I had an opportunity. I had an opportunity to really decide who I wanted and needed to be in order to move through this experience. And I think a lot of the times we go through life just on autopilot. We just kind of show up and we do the things that we think are expected of us. We get into a relationship and just kind of wonder why it's not maybe as fulfilling as it could be. We get a job and we wonder why we're not fulfilled. And I always knew that I just didn't want to be in a situation where I was not fulfilled. Especially having these life-altering experiences, such as facing a cancer experience where I didn't know if I was going to live or not, and that's not a very fun place to be. But again, it made me. It created the opportunity to make me have to decide what I was going to do. What kind of mindset did I need to adopt in order to move through this experience? And what I realized was a lot of the things that I was learning in my acting classes were amazing principles with regards to learning how to pause, learning how to just connect with where I was at and identify what my objective is. What did I want? I think a lot of people in life, if you ask them what they want, they're not very clear about what it is that they want. And until you get crystal clear about what you want in life, it's hard for you to get there. It's like getting in your car and not having your GPS. I don't know how we got by without having iPhones with Google Maps and Waze and all that. But it is similar to getting in your car and wanting to go somewhere and not having a specific address. And so having all these life-altering experiences, just made me realize that life is precious and life can end in an instant. And if we truly care about the things that we really care about in life, why would you stop, or why would you let other people's opinions of you stop you from going after what you truly care about in life? And this book is the culmination of all the mindset principles and advice that I've gotten from a lot of amazing people from all different disciplines. And since I've gone on this journey over the past year of creating this incredible community, and thank you everyone who is a part of it, everyone from the Inspire community and the Best Self community. It's incredible to be surrounding myself with incredible people who support me in what I'm up to in life. So if you're looking for that support, if you're looking for a community of people to jump into, to encourage you to be your best self, for you to start getting specific about what it is that you want to have in life, then by all means, we'd love for you guys to join us. You can email me at info@colinegglesfield.com. You can go to my website and you can check out my Inspire course, and we'll be doing plenty of other webinars and things like that. I'm also going to be doing on November 21st, I'm going to be doing a introduction to acting seminar. So anyone out there who's interested in learning what it takes to be an actor, you can email me at info@colinegglesfield.com, and I'll show you all the details of what that's going to be about. It's going to be an amazing, pretty much all-day session on what it takes, everything from how to get started to if you have been acting for a while and you're wanting to take your game to the next level. I know right now a lot of things are shut down, but I'm looking at this opportunity right now for the past few months to really grow an individual. You know, a lot of things, we're not able to do the things that we would like to be doing. And because Hollywood is shut down, it's almost, I look at this opportunity, you know, as a blessing to be able to really refine the things that I want to be doing with my life, and just start cultivating more of the great things that I know that are out there to empower me to continue on this amazing journey, which includes inviting this amazing community to join me on that trek. So, so with tonight's episode of Coffee with Colin, I went live on Facebook on Saturday, and I asked all of you all to email me some questions. And my producer and I, we picked 3 people who are going to join us live here tonight. We have Jody, Teresa, and Isabel, and I'm excited to have them on here. We're going to be talking about, I got a lot of really great questions out there, everything from politics to relationships to career to success and all that good stuff. So hopefully in the next 45 minutes, we'll be able to cover a lot of that stuff. But just before we start, I just want to just have us all kind of just check in. Again, it's been a crazy and hectic past few weeks, past few days. And I know a lot of people out there, especially here in America, are glad that at least we now know who is going to be our next president. And regardless of whether or not you like Biden or you like Trump, now is the time to start deciding what it is that you're going to do for yourself and your family, and how you can be a part of the solution. Because it's very easy to be a part of the problem by perpetuating hate, by perpetuating division, by perpetuating and focusing on the differences between all of us. Or we can really start to focus on the things that are going to make this country heal and make this country strong and great. And I love living in America. It's a great country. I've traveled all over the world, and you know what? There's a lot of great countries all over the place. And what's, I think, great about inclusion is that when you travel and when you get to know someone and you just have a conversation and ask who they are, what they believe in, what their value systems are, you can learn so much from other people. You can learn so much from people from other countries. You can learn so much from your neighbors. And I think the mistake that we make is that we have a feeling or an opinion on something, and we're very quick to want to express that opinion. And when we do that, it it prevents connection. It prevents a conversation. It prevents a dialogue. And what I've learned in acting class is that in order to respond authentically in a scene, you've really got to listen. It's so important to listen. And I know with the holidays coming up, it's a shame that some people can't even, go to the same, can't go to Thanksgiving because they're angry that, Trump lost or Biden won or whatever it is. And I would just encourage you to think about these three things, because these three tools I think are really important and will help you when you do decide, if you are able to travel and go to see your family for Thanksgiving and for the holidays. The first thing is, again, I just mentioned it, is to listen. The importance of listening can do wonders. And what the gift of listening does is it provides the opportunity for someone else to express who they are. And we can look at things from two different perspectives. We can look at having a conversation with someone from, I'm going to tell them how I feel, and if they don't agree with me, then I'm going to prove to them why they are wrong. And that's a lot of how conversations have been going lately. You ask to find out who they are voting for, what they believe in, and as soon as it's different from what you believe in, we're very quick to marginalize, or we're very quick to criticize. And what does that do? That prevents a dialogue. That prevents you from really understanding who this person is. Because if you really want to connect with people, if you really want to be a leader, one of the things I've learned is you've got to understand other people's value systems. A really easy way to find out what your value system is to find out what you are passionate about. What you like. If some people's value systems is their family, other people's value systems is their career or their work. My value system has to do with acting and having a positive impact on others. So if you want me to show up at something, if you want to invite me to somewhere, if you say, Colin, it's going to involve making a positive impact on people, and it is going to involve maybe some performance aspect of it, I'm there. And if you want people to show up in your life, if you want people to be enrolled in what it is that you want to do in life, because we can't do things on our own. If you want people to support you, if you want people to show up, it's so important to find out what their value systems are. And the only way you can find out what their value system is by asking them and listening. So I'm going to ask you to do something that's probably going to be very difficult. You do see your relatives or whoever it is that you may be coming into contact with, or work employees or whatever. And you may know that they voted for Trump or they voted for Biden or whoever it is. I know that the election is over, but instead of focusing on which candidate won, why don't you ask someone what their value system is? Because asking someone what their value system is a great way to sidestep the built-in kind of triggeredness around which candidate won. So first thing is, ask what someone's value system is, listen to what it is that matters to them, and only respond if they ask what your value system is. And just keep asking questions. And even if you disagree, even if you may feel like the feeling's starting to come up, just remind yourself that that is just a sensation. It's just a sensation. We all have our five senses, and our five senses can trick us into behaving in certain ways which is not in alignment with who we truly are on the inside. And a lot of what I talk about and teach in my courses is all about being connected to your spiritual sacred self. As when we're connected to our spiritual sacred self, then we are able to identify the things that we get triggered by easier, and we're able to recover faster when we get knocked down. And we start to separate our sacred self from our ego. Because our ego has all kinds of story. We had this, and I would have done this, if this, and this, and this, and blah, 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 blah. And we all have story. And if you really want to have an effective life, if you really want to have workability in your relationships, you got to let go. And that's my last tool, last piece of advice here is it's all about letting go of attachment and just go for the ride. Life is a game, ladies and gentlemen. It can be fun. But when we are attached to a certain way that we want things to be, most of the time we're going to be disappointed because most of the times life doesn't work out the way we want it to. And like tonight, I came on here. I have no idea who's going to be on the show. I mean, Jody, Teresa, and Isabella, I can't wait to talk to them. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Who knows? But one thing that I learned in my acting class, and it took me a while because I'm a control freak and I gotta, it's like, I gotta make sure that everything is like, and what was great about acting class was that you just have to learn to let go. And my acting teachers would just laugh at me when I'd be like, I gotta get this right, and I gotta this, and then I gotta get it right, I do it. And my acting teachers would just say, Colin, it's not about getting it right. It's about listening and responding authentically. It's about letting go of attachment. It's about honoring yourself. So I learned a new way of communicating. I learned a new way of looking at life. And if you're feeling stuck, or if you're feeling triggered by things in your life, I would encourage you to jump into my next Inspire course. I would encourage you to pick up my book, and I would encourage you to join this amazing community that we have put together, because it really is an exercise in just learning some new techniques and tools that will help you get to where you want to go. And it's a daily practice. It's like going to the gym. You can't just go to the gym one time and expect to see change. So this is a constant 24/7, 365 days a year commitment to being your best self, to honoring yourself. All right. So with that being said, I would love to bring on my first guest here. We're going to bring on Jody, and I'm not sure what Jody's going to ask, but let's bring her on and let's give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. There she is.
Hi.
How you doing, Jody?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm very nervous.
That's okay. So that's awesome. So I was very nervous too, and I get nervous before I do pretty much everything, but that means that you care.
Yes.
Right? So let's just do a little check-in. So before my auditions, when I was nervous, obviously our breath is everything. So let's just take a deep breath.
I'm a phys ed teacher, so I kind of have an idea about this.
All right. And now I want you to just check in with where you're sitting on your seat. You're sitting down, right?
Yes.
Because when we get nervous, it's generally because we have an attachment to what the outcome of this is going to be. And right now your brain is going like, oh my God, there's all these people watching. What are they thinking? What is this conversation going to be like? And oh my God, your brain is kind of going overdrive right now, right?
Okay.
Right. So in order to not be controlled by that monkey brain part of who we are, it's all about just checking in to where you are at presently. Feel your butt on your seat. Feel your fingers. Do you have any pain anywhere? Just check in with your body.
I'm good.
Check in. All right. Cool, cool. All right. All right. So you're here, and I'm so appreciative that you're here, and I'm anxious to hear what your question is. So fire away.
Okay. First of all, thank you for choosing me to be here. I actually had a lot of questions, but I think the question you chose me to ask was, what is the best advice you've ever received, and who was it from?
Good question. That's a difficult one because I have gotten a lot of great advice from a lot of different people in my life. I think, first of all, my parents, I would say my mom has always been someone, my mom and dad are complete opposites. My mom was always someone who was, she would always say, it's possible. There's a will. If there's a will, there's a way. My mom was always the one in our family that was, we'll figure it out. My dad was always the one, whoa, hold on, wait a second, how are we gonna, like, let's just think about this and how are we gonna do this? And he was very analytical. And so I grew up in a household where it was like, I would get these mixed messages of, okay, it's possible, but then these are all the reasons why maybe it couldn't work. And so as I started getting older, I started to read some books and I started getting into Eastern philosophies of just not only the world but also healing, because I have a degree in biology. I studied biology. I was a pre-med major at the University of Iowa, and one of the courses we took was this Eastern philosophy way of healing, and it was all about energy meridians and chakras. And I think we can get so stuck in our ways sometimes with the way in which we think things should be, because that's how we were raised to believe that that's the way they're supposed to be. So where are you from, if I could ask?
Fairhaven, Massachusetts.
Okay. So raised in Massachusetts.
Yes.
And so Massachusetts has a certain way of doing things. There's certain foods that you eat there, right?
I'm sure. Chowder.
Chowder. Yeah, exactly.
Lobster and chowder.
Exactly. So are you a Boston Red Sox fan?
Yes, but I'm more of a football fan.
Okay. New England Patriots fan?
I kind of switched to Tampa because of Tom Brady.
Okay. I'm right there with you.
Good.
So there's a certain way in which people from Massachusetts do things because of just geographically where you grew up, right?
Yes.
And so I started to get introduced to some of these amazing things. And I think if I hadn't been open-minded to just kind of take it in and learn, I think we can close ourselves off to some really amazing experiences. And one thing I learned about was the yin and the yang in relationships. And it's so important to incorporate both. So we have our masculine energy and we have our feminine energy. And sometimes we can skew into one side or the other. And I think what I learned from my mom and my dad was that you need both in order to have a successful relationship, in order to be successful in life. And so with regards to the advice that I learned from my parents, my mom was always, it's possible, we'll find a way. She was always just, there's always a way to figure out how to do something. My dad was a lot more practical in the sense of he was a planner. So he taught me the importance of having a specific goal and then putting into place the steps necessary in order to accomplish that goal. I learned some things from my football coach, and just with sports in general. I would say some advice that I would get from my coaches were, it's, the game is never over until the clock hits zero. And, I think we sometimes can give up way too easily. And with sports and athletics and my coaches would always encourage us to never give up until that final whistle ended. And, I like to look at life as a game because life is hard. It can knock you down and bring you to your knees. But I think if you bring some more play to your life, if you bring some more creativity to your life, and you ask empowering questions such as, how can I get this new job? So what do you do for a living?
I'm a phys ed teacher at an elementary school.
Okay. All right. So you're having to do a lot of things differently right now, right?
Yeah. I'm actually have been on leave because I have 3 kids and had nobody to watch them. It's crazy, but I'm going back in 2 weeks, so I'm ready.
Okay. So you're obviously having to figure out new ways of doing things. Right?
Yes. Stressful.
And yes, in that process, how has that been for you?
It's just totally different. And I kind of get nervous when things change. I kind of like things to stay the way I've been doing them. So that's why I'm really stressed for when I go back, because it's going to be really different. Just wearing a mask all day is going to be really tough.
Yeah.
And seeing the kids wear them and
so
far away from them, no hugs, because I work with little kids and they're always wanting to hug me, and I'm not going to be able to do that.
Right. So a lot of these little kids are going to be looking up to you, and they're going to be following your lead, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what are you going to need to be for these little kids in order for them to feel normalcy, for them to feel that, you know what, even with these masks on, we're still going to learn. We're still going to, we're still going to be learning our ABCs. We're still going to be doing all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what is it like? Because the way in which I was taught how to do this was you take on almost like a persona. So as actors, for every character that we have to audition for or play in a film or a TV show, we have to essentially adopt a certain character in order to play that role. So whatever role that you need to play in life, it's really important to get clear about what characteristics you need to bring to that role in order to be effective at what you want to be. So if I were to ask you, what kind of classroom do you want to have with all these little kids going back, regardless of the masks and the uncertainty and not knowing what this is going to be? What do you want the classroom and these kids to feel when you guys go back to school?
Just a positive energy that we're still going to have fun. This isn't going to stop us from doing our thing. We're going to have fun. Everything's positive. Just push through. And it's not forever. This isn't going to be on forever. So. Exactly.
And is there a fun, creative way that you can make wearing a mask fun?
I haven't figured that part out yet. Any suggestions for that?
Decorate the mask.
Like a big smile on it. I'm not sure yet.
So, maybe a little glue with a smile on the face and glitter and
do that.
I don't know if there's some non-toxic markers out there that you can draw up or whatever, but anything that invites any creativity and just again embracing whatever, like you said, you want the room to feel that certain way. And so if I were to ask you then, who do you need to be when you show up into that room in order to create that kind of environment?
I just need to be a role model for them to look up to and follow and know that everything's okay and that we're still going to have class and we're going to show up every day.
Yep. But if you were to describe that as a word, say like, I am the possibility of something.
Oh, geez.
What word would you use to describe what you're wanting to create in that room? Because you said it.
Oh, gosh. Just the whole positivity thing, fun, because being a gym teacher, like kids look at me like I'm the fun teacher, like I'm the cool one. So they have fun when they're with me. So I just want them to see me and know that they're still going to have fun.
Okay. So
I can't come up with one word. I'm not really sure.
No, that's it. So you are the possibility of fun, and you are the possibility of what else? Normalcy?
Yes, definitely normalcy.
Yes. Okay.
Not a relax right away.
Exactly. And so when you walk into that room, you essentially identify yourself as those two characteristics or those two words. So when you walk into that room, you're being identified by that creation of you being fun, creating the possibility of normalcy, you're creating the possibility of a safe place for these kids to be able to learn, and you're essentially holding that space for these kids to be able to do that.
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah, but I would say that it's the most fulfilling thing in your life, right?
It is, yes. It's hard to balance that and my own kids and 3 dogs, and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes we can let our so like me, Colin, I identify myself as an actor, right? So and to be more specific, I identify myself as a movie star. So whenever I ask myself, what would a movie star do in this scenario? Then it's easy. Then the answers for what I need to do come very easily. Because if you were to ask me, well, Colin, what do you want to do? What would you do in this situation? I would say, I want to run. I want to hide into the closet and bury my face under the covers.
Yeah.
But when I identify myself as movie star, I ask myself, what would a movie star do right now? What would a movie star do in this circumstance? So if you can identify yourself as that amazing, empowered teacher of the year, that when you walk in that room, these kids get inspired, they can just sense your way of being. Because communication is 70% how you show up. 30% of how you deliver your communication, and only 7% verbal. So your kids, you communicate to your kids, and people are very perceptive. Way more how you show up than what you say. So it's important to just remember that you are teacher of the year.
I wish.
What would a teacher of the year do in this moment? What would a teacher of the year do? And when you ask yourself that question, that's an empowering question. Where then when you walk into that classroom, it's not, well, what would Jody do? It's, what would teacher of the year do in this moment? Anything that inspires you and lights you up so that when you walk into that room, you are living that way of being. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm definitely going to do that. Thanks for the advice.
Awesome. All right. So, and that was some advice that I got from my acting teachers. So I think that's
perfect advice.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for being here, and hopefully that helped.
Thank you. It will.
All right. I'll see you later.
Right.
Bye-bye. All right. Awesome question. Next we have Teresa. Can we bring Teresa on, please? Is Teresa there? Or how about, let's go to, well, maybe that's Teresa. How about Kimberly? Let's see if Kimberly is here. Ah, there's Kimberly. What's up, Kimberly?
Oh, just we're working late.
Yeah, all right. What's going on?
Oh, you know, just trying to deal with life and a little bit of real estate, and you know, just wondering how you might recommend. How do you deal with a situation when your candidate doesn't win, and you feel like it's going to impact your livelihood and how you had envisioned moving forward, and you know you're trying to not let the monkey brain take over and you know, control things.
Yeah, good question. So do you mind if we have a real conversation?
No.
Okay. Do you mind me asking who you voted for?
No, not at all. I voted for Trump.
Okay. And do you mind me asking what about Trump did you like, and what was it about him that made you vote for him?
Not his personality.
Okay.
So without a doubt, I didn't like Trump personally, or when I say personally, I didn't know him, but I didn't like his demeanor. I didn't like the way he communicated. Mm-hmm. I felt like he was narcissistic and that, but his policies and the things that I felt like he accomplished during his term, I felt like he did the best he could to actually, you know, implement what he said he was going to. Mm-hmm. And I felt like he was very small business. I own a small business. So I felt like he did a lot of things to help those small businesses out there. And I just felt like in general, his policies were where I felt like aligned with what I felt like I could see, even if I didn't like him necessarily as a person or
yeah. So it sounds like your value systems were in alignment with Trump.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So already, like, I'm able to connect with you in that regard. So I did not vote for Trump. I voted for Biden. But if we can have a conversation about value systems, I have a way better understanding of why you voted for Trump, and it doesn't trigger me. It doesn't make me like, you know, well, Kimberly, you're an idiot. Well, why would you vote for him? And he does this and he grabs people by the, you know what, and blah, blah, blah. Like,
Right. And along those same lines, I've actually been like not telling anybody who I voted for because I'm afraid, because
Yeah.
I understand why people would be like, what are you thinking? Why would you vote for that guy? Which I do understand that mentality. I really do. But on the flip side of that, again, his policies and the things that impact my livelihood and my business, I felt like aligned with him. So it was really kind of a weird situation to where I didn't feel comfortable really. I was never one to be out there going, go Trump, do
Yeah.
thing, because I literally, like I said, I felt guilty about voting for him in that weird sort of way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. Because as an entrepreneur and as a business owner myself, I do like the tax cuts that he made for small businesses.
Yeah,
that is something very beneficial to who I am, what I'm doing, and what I'm up to in life. Obviously, I think that it's not a black and white issue. And I just wish there was more than two political parties in this country.
right.
Because how can you take so many different issues and lump them into one side or the other?
No. No.
And what the shame of it all is that you may have certain value systems from one party and other value systems in another party.
Right.
And yet, obviously, you're going to vote for the candidate that is most in line with your most important value system,
Right.
Principles, right? And so, I think when people do ask me who I voted for, I don't always tell people who I voted for, because I don't want to get into a pissing contest with someone who, where it's going to be contentious. So I would say, in answer to your question, to deal with the disappointment of your candidate not winning.
Yeah.
I've always been of the mindset of, regardless of what circumstances I'm facing, I ask, what can I do to get better at what I do in order to influence my business, in order to become so good at what I do that it's almost as if like I start removing the dependency on my environment.
Okay.
And I think the more that we can take responsibility for our actions, for what we do, for what our goals are, and for us to be able to put in place the things that we need to learn in order to be able to provide for our families, I think not only does it eliminate the reliance on an outside force, because when you're reliant on other people and other things, it's a disempowering place to be, right?
Yes.
And
right.
so I don't like to rely too much on outside influences. So I always ask the question, what can I do to improve my situation or where I am at? And when I see and hear people talk about, well, I want to vote for this candidate because he cares about, the steel industry or the coal industry or the whatever industry, I can totally appreciate that. But the way I look at it is, just because, and look, I've been an actor for 20 years. The acting industry started to change. I could have sat in my place in Los Angeles and bitched and complained about Netflix coming out and, like the amount of money for the TV shows, because now that there's 400 channels on TV, they
Right.
don't pay as much money on the TV shows anymore. So I literally could not make a living anymore doing the guest star roles until I booked my next main acting gig.
Right.
So instead of bitching and complaining and worrying about it, I was like, what can I do to still do what I love to do, which is to act and to perform? What can I do to be more in control of that and create more of an empowering place for me to live? So when I wake up in the morning, I'm not reliant on a casting director or producers to choose me for a show, for then me to be able to do what I love to do. And I think we can get stuck in thinking that, well, because of these certain circumstances or my candidate didn't win, then that means that I'm now stuck. And I would encourage people to, whether you voted for Trump or Biden, now the current reality is Biden is going to be our next president.
Right.
So what can you do now in order to create more empowerment for yourself, and whatever that means for your business?
Right.
And I would say, just ask empowering questions such as, how can I, like, what would you say are challenges you're facing with your business, as because you do real estate and you manage a real estate office, is that right?
Yes, I own a real estate office in San Antonio, and I feel like, well, there's lots of challenges, just in the sense that with the pandemic, obviously that's created a lot of, just strange realities where even showing a house is a lot more complicated than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, I wondered, what will happen to the interest rates, in my mind, because things had been really, really good in real estate in general for the last 4 years. And so I thought, if Biden gets in, does that mean that, what will happen? What will the stock market do? Will the interest rates go up? Because if the interest rates go up, then obviously you're going to not have as many people that buy houses if the interest rates are up. And so they shut down the country. I'm afraid if Biden shuts down the country, again, what's that going to mean in terms of, all the people that would typically buy homes? They might not be able to have the living, they might not have the same secure job they did if things get shut down again. I work with a lot of people that are in the, San Antonio is a big, a place where people come to, go on the river, and they do tourism, type stuff. And so we do have a lot of people that come down here for a trip to just visit the city because it's so cool, and then they fall in love with it, and then they want to move here.
Mm-hmm.
So I worry that, again, depending on what happens with that industry, tourism industry, obviously travel, all that kind of stuff is so impacted. If we shut down again, do those people again lose their jobs, and then they don't have the ability, not only they don't have the ability to buy a home, but many people don't even have the ability to pay their house payments, whether it's for house payments or whatever. And so it's just that, taking a different approach to the pandemic, which who'd have even thought a year ago, we thought we had XYZ to worry about. And now it's like you have to factor in the pandemic among the things that we were already concerned about.
Right. And my insight on this would be this. So if I were to take you to, have you ever been to Malibu?
No, I haven't. I've been to California, but not to Malibu.
Okay. So I do the Malibu triathlon.
Okay.
I was doing the Malibu triathlon every year. And I'm not a great swimmer.
Okay.
And so I hired a swim coach to take me out and teach me how to swim in the ocean, because the waves in Malibu are pretty big. I mean, they're no joke. I mean, they get 8 feet high and they crash hard.
Do you swim? You swim in the ocean in a triathlon?
Yes.
Oh,
so you swim out into the waves, and then you swim a half mile and then back in.
Okay.
Now, before we even stepped into the ocean, my triathlon coach sat me out on the sand and he said, look at the waves. The waves are coming in, they're crashing. And the waves would come in waves. So there was the big waves crashing. And he's like, you do not want to be going out when those waves are crashing.
Okay.
Study the waves.
Okay.
Life happens in waves. You're going to have interest rates that go up. You're going to have interest rates that go down. You're going to have inflation that goes up. You're going to have inflation that goes down. Regardless of who the president is.
Right.
We're going to have these waves.
Sure.
We're going to have these flows. And when my triathlon coach said, what if you stand here and if you sit here and we just study these waves and you study the way in which the ocean is flowing and the current, see how the current is flowing to the left. So when you go out, when you first start out, you're one of the ones that started to go out to the right. He started to share with me insight and knowledge in order to be able to use the waves to my advantage. Mm. So regardless of whether the economy is going up or whether it's going down, you know this in real estate, you can make money in any market.
True. Yeah.
You can make money with the stock market by shorting the market. It's all about getting smarter at what you do.
Right.
So that you can then look at whatever it is, whatever the world, whatever is happening in the world, whatever is happening in your environment, use that to your advantage. But it requires you to get out of your comfort zone and learn something new. Instead of complaining about it, learn something new to be able to then have that confidence to be like, I got this. Right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't know where they came from, but we grow up, we go to school, we learn something, and then we just expect that it's supposed to stay the same for the next 40 years. And, you know, my dad was a doctor, he's an obstetrician, and God rest his soul, you know, he's passed on now. But I just would see him struggle because in the office, they implemented computers. And before, he was like writing chicken scratch and no one could read his writing. And then they started implementing computers into the office. And he was like a one-finger typer. And it was like, Dad, why don't you take a typing class? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then he would just still like struggle. And like, just take a typing class. Like, just learn how to type. And your frustration, no, this is how I've been doing it for so long. I don't want to learn, you know. And so it's important to embrace a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset, and just know that things are going to change. As much as we love the way things are now, we've got to be smart and wise and know that things are not going to always be the same. But with what comes with change is a lot of opportunity. So there's so much opportunity out there right now with new ways of doing things. When anything happens new in the market, we're at home, we're having to be on the internet now. So many companies have sprouted up during just in the past 6 months. Uber, what else? There were so many companies that were created during the last downturn in the economy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because sometimes it forces people to get creative.
Yes.
So I would just encourage you to learn how to look at those waves and study those waves so you get better and more empowered. So when you're looking at those waves, you're not afraid of what's going to happen. You're going to be like, yep, I know what's going to happen because this is what happened before. And my personal opinion is that one man can control the economy. Regardless of who's in the office, I feel my personal opinion is the presidency is all about great leadership, great unification.
Yes.
Inspiring people to believe in something that is bigger and greater and better than and more, you know, just something that gets us out of of our mundane regular life. You know, what I liked about John F. Kennedy in 1964, he said, "Let's put a man on the moon," and that galvanized the nation. And within, or 61, I think it was, and within 8 years, I think it was, get a man on the moon. And how galvanizing and how inspiring is something like that. And I'm not saying anything against Trump. I'm not knocking him, but my personal opinion is that's what a great leader is. It's all about giving people something to believe in, right, where it connects us rather than divides us.
Sure. No, absolutely. Fantastic.
All right, cool, Kimberly. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate your question. All right, take care. All right, I know we're going a little long here, but if you guys are enjoying the conversation, I am. So I'd like to bring on Teresa next. Is Teresa there? Hi, Teresa.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Where are you calling from today?
Proctorville, Ohio.
Proctorville, Ohio. All right. And how's your week been?
Pretty busy. I just
Yeah.
been working and stuff like that.
And what do you do?
I work at Walmart.
Okay. And what do you do for Walmart?
I'm a cashier. I can do about anything in the store, so I do a lot of stuff.
All right. Awesome. So I'm sure you see a lot of people throughout the day, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being here. What is your question?
Well, I set goals for myself, and I get mad at myself because stuff doesn't always work out,
Hmm.
and I just go into a depression, and I don't know. I just give up, and I want to stop giving up, and I just want to I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, Teresa. You know what? You know what I appreciate is that there's a lot of people that are feeling the exact same thing that you are right now, and I feel those feelings as well. You're not alone,
Okay.
especially right now. I guarantee you, there's a few thousand people watching this right now saying, "Thank you, Teresa, for saying what I am feeling." It's important to voice what we're feeling. It's important to communicate what we're going through. Because if we don't, if we bury it, it just continues to fester, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens when you're in this disempowered place? When you're
I
feeling
just
like giving up?
Yeah, I do. That's what I do because nothing's working out. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize. Can I share a couple of things with you?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I would say um, focus on, focus on the things that you want to create more of in your life. So if I were to ask you that, what do you want more of in your life? What would you say?
Um, I I don't want to. Oh, I can't do this.
Okay.
I just don't want to feel like a failure in everybody's eyes. And um, I wasn't gonna do this.
No, it's okay, Teresa. And again, you're not the only one who's feeling this. And it's all about identifying, and just even journaling will help with this. Because if I were to ask you right now the things that you've accomplished in your life, I'm sure that you've accomplished a ton of things. Do you have a family?
Yes, my
Yes?
mom and dad. Yes,
Okay.
I don't have any kids, and I'm not married, but I have my sister and my two brothers,
Okay.
and
Well,
my mom and dad has passed away. So
yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that. I know what that feels like. But
well,
I would argue that you've come a long way in your life to get to where you're at. Life is not easy, obviously.
yeah,
And if you were to look back and I were to ask you certain things that you've done in your life to get to where you're at, I'm sure you've overcome a lot of obstacles. Am I right?
yes.
Yeah.
I My dad had brain cancer, and I quit my job to take care of him.
Incredibly honorable.
And then my mom got sick, and I quit my job to take care of her.
And what a gift.
Because they would have done the same for me.
Yeah. And what a gift it is to have family like that you care enough about, because so many people don't even have families that care.
I know.
And the fact that
I,
you had a loving mom and dad that taught you the value of being there for each other is it's so important. And that's something to be incredibly grateful for. You see that?
yes,
Yeah. And so it's so easy for us to focus on the bad things in life, right?
yes,
And it's so easy to like wake up and be like, you know, stubbed my damn toe and I got a flat tire and I got to deal with a crazy customer at Walmart who wants to return something that they obviously used and blah, 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 right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And it's just important for us to try as hard as we can to focus on the things that we are blessed with.
Yep.
And you were blessed with an amazing family.
Yep.
So many people I talk to, they don't have families who care. And the fact that you quit your job to take care of your mom and your dad, I just want to give you a huge hug right now. Can I give you a huge virtual hug?
Yes, I'd love it.
You
I'll send
so,
you one back.
you so deserve it. You've gone above and beyond what most people would do. And that is very honorable. And there's all these comments here. There's so many people here. I don't know if you can see this, Teresa, but so many people are commenting how amazing you are. And they're energetically sending you. So Natalia is saying you are not a failure. You are a human being with feelings. You will overcome. People love you. You have an amazing heart. And that's something to be grateful for. Because that's who you are. And that's something, never give up on that. You're not a failure. Are you there, Teresa? I think we may have lost her. Okay. Well, wow. You know, again, this is real life, ladies and gentlemen. And again, life is hard. There are so many things that happen to us in our lives. Everyone is dealing with something. Everyone has something that is painful. Everyone has something that they're dealing with, whether it's like what Teresa is dealing with, feeling like whatever she does, it's not good enough, and she feels like a failure. But it's so important to remind yourself of the things that you have accomplished in life. Sometimes just requires taking a piece of paper and writing out the things that you are grateful for to start off with, and then to write out the things that you've accomplished in your life, even if they may seem like the most trivial things. And if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling like a failure, I would encourage you to get connected with this community. Get connected with our Best Self community, get connected with the Inspire community, because it's all about shifting our mindsets and focusing on the things that are empowering in our lives. We can be so disempowered by looking into our surroundings and seeing the evidence for failure. But it is all about mindset. And as soon as I learned this, my life changed, my acting career took off, and this stuff is really incredibly powerful. And it may sound simple and trivial, but this stuff really, really, truly works if you put it into practice. So I think we have one more guest. Is Isabella there? Is Isabella there?
Hi.
She is. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm good. And I'm sorry, it's Isabel, right?
Isabel, yes.
Isabel.
Thanks.
Good.
Thanks for having me today.
Well, thanks for being here. And for those of, for everyone out there, why don't you tell everyone where you're from?
From Quebec, Canada.
Okay. How's Quebec these days?
It's great. It's great weather. It's really mild and sunny. So it's really great.
Nice. And so are you guys just sitting up there in Canada looking down here at the United States and being like, you guys are crazy?
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy these days.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. When you guys have presidential elections or prime minister elections, are they ever this contentious?
No, I don't. Not that I know of. It's not that controversial, but everything's different, and yeah, we each have our own problems, but yeah.
Yeah. So looking down here on the United States, would you ever want to move here?
Not sure. Well, to me, you probably, but no, no. I think it's great in Canada around here. Yeah, I like where I live.
Well, again, there's a lot of great things about every country. It just depends on,
Yeah, exactly.
that you're looking for. So, well, thanks for being here. And what is your question this evening?
Well, so I know a lot about challenges about the previous participant. I was born with spina bifida, and I'm in a wheelchair since I'm little.
Okay.
So I want to inspire also. So last year I started a YouTube channel to do videos about activities that I do. I just want to do interviews, just show everyone that everything is possible, and that obstacles, they can be overcome. So I just wanted to know, I work full time also.
Yeah.
So in a rehab center that I love.
Okay.
So I just had a question about planning. How do you do? Because I have a lot of project in my head. I want to do like a blog, a written blog, and YouTube. How do you manage different project, time management? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a huge one, and I'm glad you brought that one up. But first off, I just want to acknowledge you for creating all of the YouTube channel and this platform. And if I could ask you, what is the platform about? What's the purpose for you creating this content?
Well, yeah, to show different activities that are accessible near my area. That I want to show what's available there that people may not know, and just want to have interviews with accessibility and just show advocate more about it. So have more services available there. Yeah.
And is this related to anyone who is dealing with only spina bifida, or in a wheelchair? Or if you could tell me just kind of briefly, who are you serving, and then what was the reason why you started to do this?
Well, mostly it's for people with a handicap, for sure, to show what is possible to do. I do also exercise video about CrossFit, so I just want to show what is possible, and that it can be everything can be adapted, or you can find something else to do if it's not possible. That there's always an alternative. Yeah.
Yes, and you are a true living example of what is possible, regardless of whatever you're dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people who I'm sure you meet, or who who are maybe in limiting health situations and could have a completely different mindset about, well, why me, and have that victim mentality. But you're not letting anything stop you. You are going after what it is that you want to do. And what's great about what you're doing is that it's in service of others.
Yeah.
Right? And so would you say that maybe your parents were big influences on you with regards to what you're doing?
Oh yeah, for sure. They always push me to do whatever is possible. My mom is a big cheerleader for me. She's always been big supporter of me. I've done adapted skiing. I've done scouts. Like they've done different things with me.
That is amazing. That is so cool. Yeah, so it's so important what you're doing, because you're giving hope and you're giving possibility to people who may not think that these kinds of things are available, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
That is awesome. So what is the name of your YouTube channel?
It's Zaroule. It's Zaroule. So it's mostly in French, but I'll have it translated in English. That's my project right now.
Okay.
Have it bilingual for sure. To have more people, be accessible for more people. And I want to do different subject activities, exercise, but I want to do interviews also about different a big project that I have in front of me.
Okay. Have you ever done anything along the lines of like a business plan for what you're doing?
No.
Okay. So in alignment with your question about time management, it's all about implementing structure into what you're doing. And it's all about implementing structure and systems to make what you're doing more efficient, and so that you're not spinning your wheels and wasting time, right?
Exactly.
And so when I was in acting class, I was learning how to become an actor, learning how to emote and do accents and do all this, being up on stage. But it wasn't until I took this course in the business of acting where my mindset started to shift from not just an artist, but a businessman, entrepreneur. And the first thing that they had us do was create our mission statement and our vision statement. And the way in which we got to look at this as you are the CEO of what you do. You are the CEO of your own life. And it's very important for, companies do this all the time. The most successful companies in the world, they have a mission statement, they have a vision statement, they know exactly, how many employees they have an idea of where they're going. Their companies are, the ones that succeed are very well thought out. And they have a clear idea and a clear branding message of who they are. So like if I were to ask you, what do you think about when I tell you Apple computer? Like, what do you think of when you think of Apple?
Like a different, like cell phone. Well, it's a big company for sure. With different services for sure.
Yeah, and what would you say is like their branding?
My brand, well, accessibility for sure. And it's just,
what is Apple's brand?
well,
like
technology.
Right, technology, but beautiful technology, and almost like sexy technology. And Steve Jobs, one of their first advertising campaigns when they came out, their brand was think different. So everything Apple does challenges the norm, right? And if Apple were to come out with a hotel, you would know what that hotel would be. It would be sexy, it would be cool, there'd be like cool technology in there. But if you think about a brand such as like Marriott Hotels, if they were to make computers, I couldn't tell you what kind of computer that would be. So it's very important to get specific about what your brand is. What is the feeling that you want to create so that when people think of your brand and what you offer, they know who you are and what you have to offer. And so if your brand is all about accessibility, if your brand is about sharing with people the possibilities of what's out there, that adventure, and there's still amazing things that you can do even if you are in a wheelchair. Like, that's incredible. So so with regards to the time management component of it, if you're able to create the specificity with regards to what's your mission statement, and your mission statement could be to create an incredible platform for people to feel that anything is possible regardless of limitations, whatever that is. And your vision statement could be something along the lines of I plan to with my platform or my brand, I plan to have everyone in the world be able to learn and know about what's out there so that people can live an amazing quality of life, so that 20 years from now, people have the opportunity to,
whatever.
go to my website and see in their area the things that they can do, skiing and, ice skating things and all that kind of stuff. So that would be your vision statement. So with regard to implementing structure into your business, this is where the time management component comes in. And this is where I personally struggle too, because I'm doing so much that random things pop up all the time. And I get distracted when those random things come up. And it's important for us to create our schedule and then stick to it.
Yeah.
And so part of that is blocking out blocks of time in your calendar and physically writing in your calendar. So like I've got this planner right here, and on this side at the times, boom, are things that, and I'm already filling mine in for, this is for tomorrow. The times in which I'm going to do something. And so you have to do it. Yeah. And you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're putting into your calendar the times of what it is that you're wanting to accomplish, then what is the challenge you're facing with regards to the time management component?
I guess I would like to do more evenings, but I'm tired after I come back from work. So, but I have to do montage of videos if I want to get it out on YouTube. So I just have to, just plan it and do it.
And would it help you if you had help? Is that something that you need?
Yeah, well, for sure. Yeah. Depends on, I don't have like a lot of budget for now. So that's why it's like me and my boyfriend is filming and I do the montage. So, yeah.
Okay. So in order to be able to accomplish more, sometimes it requires to have more people to help, right? So maybe the question is, how can I enroll more people to help me for free because they believe in my cause, they believe in my mission, but the only way in which you're going to get people to enroll and want to join you is if you're very clear about what your brand is, what your mission is, so that when you start to promote that, then you can start to ask people if anyone is interested in joining me to help grow this community. Similar to what I'm doing here. I'm still learning a lot of this stuff. I don't claim to be an expert, and there's people that reach out to me and they're like, "Your website is a mess, and it needs this changing, and this and that and the other thing, and you have misspellings and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay, I got it. Yep, all right." But it's all about learning, taking that information in, and learning how to keep doing it better. But if I waited until I knew everything, I still wouldn't have started any of this. This is where some people get stuck too. And it's great that you're just starting, and a lot of times you just got to jump in.
Yeah, and I want to be like good right now. That's one of my personality, and I want to do it, and I want to be good at it right now. So I'm learning as the process goes also. Yes,
true. Well, I do some personal coaching, and I can help you with this component of you getting more specific about what your business looks like, as far as the branding, the messaging, all that stuff. And I have a course called Camera Ready, which actually is it's on my website. You can check it out, but it's all about crafting that impactful message and getting specific about what is your mission statement, your vision statement, and then identifying who your audience is. So real quick, there's 4 different audience types out there. So if you're speaking to different audience types, you need to know these 4 different personality types in order to effectively deliver your message and so that it lands on your audience. And one of the big reasons why people get nervous in front of the camera is because they don't know who they're talking to. And they're so in their head about how they look and how they sound that they're trapped up in here. But if you're connected to your audience and you know who your audience is and you know what the impact you want to have on your audience, then your message becomes forward focused instead of inward focused. And as an actor, we learn how to deliver our messages. A great exercise that one of my acting teachers had us do was she had 2 actors standing in front of each other, and you do this with your boyfriend. You take a pillow and you say a sentence. So like if the sentence is, "Why don't you love me?" Okay. So I would take the pillow and you throw the pillow on the word that you want to emphasize. Okay. So I would say, "Why don't you love me. And so I would throw the pillow on the word love and it would hit you. And so after me throwing the pillow, I can actually see that my words have physical impact on you.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you love me? And so it starts to train your brain to see that your words have impact. Mm-hmm. So that when you show up in front of the camera and you go to deliver your message, you think about having that same impact on your audience. So there's 4 different audience types, and they're broken down into one of my teachers broke them down to sea creatures. So there's the shark, there's the dolphin, there's the sea urchin, and there's the whale. Okay? So when you are talking to, you're going to be talking to a lot of people, Isabel. You're going to be up on stages. You're going to be inspiring tons of people. I can see it already. And you're going to have this huge following, and people are going to be, wanting to, like, if you're wanting to enroll people, you've got to know how to know who you're
grab
talking
their
to.
attention.
So the way in which a shark receives information is they're very quick and they're very fast. So if you really want to talk to a shark, you got to talk to them as if they are the only person in the room. They are the most important people in the room. They go big, they go hard, they know how to close the deal. So if you really want someone to join me in this mission for inclusivity, for making people who are in wheelchairs feel like they can have the same kind of life that you want to have, then this is what it's all about. And it's very intense and it's direct and it's to the point.
Okay.
And then if you're talking to the dolphins, it's all about having fun. And when they're out there and they're like shooting basketballs and like, man, I don't know, what it's going to look like. But all that matters is you just go out there and you play. And the dolphins are all about play. If you can make it fun, if you can make it funny, that's how the dolphins like to receive communication. And then there's the sea urchin. So that when you are putting this together, you will make sure that you're speaking to 43% of the population that has a disability, and know that of those 43%, 22% are willing to donate right here, right now. And if you get 100 people lined up on your webinar, 33 of those 100 are going to donate right here, right now. So the sea urchin is all about statistics and facts. And it's all about letting them take their time to digest the information. So with the sea urchins, you want to slow down a little bit. You want to pause.
Mm-hmm.
You want to let what you say land with a sea urchin so that they can process it. Because if you go too fast with a sea urchin, you're going to lose them. So a sea urchin is all about direct facts, give them the information, let them process it, and don't pressure them to make a decision. You make an invitation.
Okay.
It's like with a shark, if you said, I guarantee you, if you say yes right now, you're going to have the best time in your life. Like you're placing those kinds of things out there that like trigger that emotion. And then the last one is the whale. The whales are all about emotion. And if you can talk to a whale and say, listen, I know what it's like to have a disability. It's frustrating. It can be incredibly disempowering, but this is what it's all about. It's about inviting a community together that is there to support each other, that has the answers for the families so that when your child asks you these important questions, you're able to answer those questions and give your child what they need to feel empowered, to feel that they're not any different than any other little boy or little girl out there, and that they are special. Because it's all about family with whale, it's all about community, and it's all about just making people feel taken care of and safe. And so if you can deliver a message that communicates to all 4 of those different audiences, then you're going to be able to land your message on more people than if you just focus on one of those 4. that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. So with regards to the time management, because that was your main question, a lot of it has to do with just getting smarter about what you're doing so that it takes you less time to do things. It's all about creating that specific messaging, mission statement, vision statement, so that you can enroll people in your vision to help you so that you're not alone doing all of this. And then continuing to put things in your calendar, because things do not exist. They're only ideas, and they are in your calendar. And you work that calendar as ruthlessly as you possibly can.
Yeah. So true. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, Isabel, for being here. I appreciate it. And hopefully that helps.
Oh, yes, for sure. Thank you for your time.
All right. And if anyone wants to support you, well, if Isabel wants to put in the chat, there you are, Isabel. Can you tell everyone again, how can we get in touch with you? How can we support you? If anyone is out there that is looking to support Isabel.
On YouTube, it's Zaroule. It's Zaroule.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Z.
Zaroule. So
Zaroule.
Yeah, it's like a wheel, but like Zaroule in French.
Okay. And it's just Zaroule on YouTube?
Yeah, Zaroule in one word. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So everyone go to Isabel's YouTube channel, subscribe, and let's give Isabel a lot of love and support with what she's up to, because it is super important.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I think we have Teresa back. Does Teresa want to come back on? Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
We lost you. I'm glad you're back.
It's this goofy phone.
Yeah, that's okay. So I just want to tell you that I just want to acknowledge you and say you're incredibly brave for coming on here and being real, because it's not easy to show our real emotions like that. A lot of people hide them in and are afraid to share them. So I just want to say thank you for that, because I don't know if you could see it or not, but there were so many people that were sending so many amazing messages.
I appreciate that. I didn't mean to. I don't know. I just get emotional a lot.
Yep. It's totally understandable.
I just want to thank you, because I listen to you. I watch you all the time. And I really appreciate you for what you do. And
well, you're welcome.
And I tried that where I got to wear my mask at Walmart. My sister has the oils, the Young Living oils, and she's given me some when my mom died and everything. And I had one that was I have one that's called Peace and Calming, and I put it on my mask this morning before I left for work, and it helped me through the day.
Good.
And I appreciate you very much, and I love watching you.
Well, you know what? I just want to say thank you for saying that, because, you know, you're the reason why I do all of this. It's people like you, Teresa, that I really care about, and I don't always get to hear that. You know, I'm here behind a computer screen and I'm talking to a camera. So for you to say that, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because it means so much to me. And just knowing that what I'm doing is actually having a positive effect on people really means a lot to me. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You've made me take a few notice of things that I'm gonna try my best to because I've been trying to lose weight and get healthier. And
All right. Well, we've got a great community to help with that.
yeah, so I'm gonna keep on keeping on. So
All right. Well, if you could, I've got your email address, so we're going to invite you into the Best Self Facebook group, and you're going to be surrounded by a lot of supportive people who are going to help you accomplish the things you want to accomplish. Okay.
can I
All
tell
right.
you that I love you?
Oh, thank you so much. I love you too, Teresa. Thank you. And you take care of yourself, and remember that what you do and who you are is amazing. What
Thank you.
you not a lot of people would have done what you did. For you to quit your job to take care of your parents is very honorable. And it says a lot about who you are. And you have a huge heart, and you deserve a lot of love because you gave a lot of it out. So I hope you can feel all the love being sent your way right now.
Yeah, I can.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. And the fact that you every day serve all those people at Walmart, making sure that they have what they need, that's amazing too. You just are a person of service, and I think more people need to be more like you, Teresa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, well, have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you in our Facebook group, okay?
All right. Yes.
All right. All right. Take care. Have a good night. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I know we ran a little late, but wow, what a great night, huh? I think this was very helpful for me too, just because, you know, with everything going on lately, again, I thought it was an important time to just connect and to do a check-in. And again, a lot of us are dealing with, you know, a lot of issues out there, physical issues, health issues, career issues, success issues. And I just want to let you know that I'm here to help. This is what I love to do. I love to act, and I'm continuing to act. I've got 2 movies that are coming out soon. One came out on Friday called Love by Drowning. Another one is coming out in January called 100 Days to Live. So I'm still acting. I'm still auditioning, just, you know, working on getting my next job. But in the meantime, this is, you know, I've decided to pivot and to bring some agility into to my life. And this is, I'm telling you, so empowering. And I love being this this conduit and this medium for connection and positivity and inspiration. So if you're looking for more of it, if you're feeling like you want to get connected, if you're feeling lost, alone, you know, scared, afraid, then join us in our community. Shoot me an email at info@colinegglesfield.com, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction with whatever it is that's out there that you need. And I look forward to having you guys all in my next Inspire course. I look forward to having you guys back here next week for another edition of Coffee with Colin. And with that being said, thanks to my PR team, Remix, and everything that you guys do to make all of this happen. So thanks a lot, everyone, for being here. Have a great rest of your night, and stay empowered. Go out there and be bold things and honor yourself.